This is a fake account. It says welcome demo Whalen, but if this was truly a student, it would say welcome Jean Whalen. And this is a snapshot of a true home screen of a senior. So notice here, there's a unique message. This is for this graduating class. So every year, sometime around August, I update the application procedures for the graduating class that year. And so if they clicked on the words read more, that would expand and they would be able to see exactly what their responsibilities are. On this side, they have quick access to any of their favorites, maybe colleges that they've saved, maybe careers they have favorited. So they can access up here, but if they want quick access, they're saved as their favorites. So this message changes per grade, and this message is something, it's not a message, but this section is where they save their favorites. Now, if you notice down here at the bottom, it says important to-dos and tasks. Those are tasks that are assigned by either teachers or school counselors. And right now, what we're doing is we are working on career education and work standards, which is a graduation requirement from the state of Pennsylvania. So if you were in English 11, there might be a task assigned to complete. When it's required, it would be marked required. When it's just recommended, it's marked as recommended. On this side, when there's a new announcement or a college visit, it's marked under what's new. So colleges visiting Pine Richland can also be found under the colleges tab, but we try to make it as easy as we can for students on their homepage to have quick access. Now this morning, I enlarged the sealed envelope because as a parent, I think that's very important that you know that when our department sends an email to students, it could be an individual email, it could be a grade email, it could be half the high school email, it could be grades 9 through 12 email. And if you want to know what we've emailed your child the entire school year, it sits here. So if I was a real student, it would say 6, for example. I've emailed way more times to seniors than 6, but that gives you an example of what I mean. The bottom part of this page, so I'm still on the home page, but I had to break it up into 2 screens. The top part is more like the welcome. The bottom part holds document resources. And if this was a real student, it would actually say right here, something called Naviance test prep. Then the document resources, if you click on that or your child clicks on that, I've created 18 folders. One's a senior to-do folder, information just for seniors. Another one is a junior folder. There's one on SAT, ACT tests. There's one on the Common Application. There's one on becoming a recruited athlete. And so depending on what grade you're in, you'll have access to only certain folders. So not all students are going to have access to 18, but many students will have access, especially juniors and seniors will have access to most of the folders. I even have a folder on military academies. And again, if this was a real student here, it would say Naviance test prep. And that is accessing what the school district pays for every student not in the middle school. Grades 9 through 12 have access to a free SAT, ACT test prep program. It's a phenomenal program. Students in the comfort of their own home can take a free online SAT or a free online ACT. They can set the parameters of the test prep program. For example, if you were a junior right now, you could go into Naviance test prep and put the date. I'm going to say I'm taking the March SAT, and it would generate, based on that information, your personalized test prep program. Oh, this student's going to be taking the SAT in less than 2 months, so it's going to create a study guide that's a little more rigorous because there's only less than 2 months. Whereas maybe if it was a sophomore that was saying they're not going to take the SAT till spring of junior year, it would be much more, give that student much more time to practice. I think practicing for these important tests is important. I always equate it to being like a student athlete. You have to put in the time and the practice to be great at anything that you do. You'll notice down here, there's all these links that I've created to help students. If I was able to view from my school, there are literally 19 links there. This one is really a cool website called My Majors. It helps students just explore what majors are out there. This one gives parents and students a direct link to the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And again, it goes on and on. One of my favorite ones is How Science Works. It's a great website for students that know they like science, but are trying to connect that to maybe an area of study in college. This part are web pages. So this will lead a student directly to the Common App. This will lead a student directly to directions on how to match their Common App with Naviance. If you're a parent, grades 9, 10, and 11 right now, you know, that's on the back burner for you. That's something that we share with students at the beginning of senior year. This is information about letters of recommendation, and this accesses every student's graduation plan. So that is just an overview of the homepage. We haven't even gotten into the nitty-gritty of the rest of the program.